Two men. One wears a red tie, the other a black t-shirt. One commands crowds with chants, the other commands satellites with code. One built towers of glass and gold, the other builds rockets that aim for the stars. At first glance, Donald Trump and Elon Musk couldn't be more different. A politician who turned democracy into reality TV. A technologist who turned social media into his own empire. But look closer. Together, they are more than billionaires. They are symbols of a new kind of power, one that doesn't just govern countries, but governs attention, one that doesn't just write laws, but rewrites reality itself. What happens when politics becomes a business, and business becomes politics? When presidents speak like influencers, and influencers act like presidents? This is the story of Trump and Musk. Two men, two empires, and one endless loop of power that no institution seems able to control. Before we move forward, a disclaimer. What you are about to hear is based on open sources, public records, and reports from global media. This is not the only interpretation of events. It is our interpretation. Subjective, incomplete, and yours to question. Do not take our word as truth. Verify. Doubt. Read beyond this story. Because in the world of Trump and Musk, facts often collide with spectacle. And in the noise, it becomes harder to tell what's reality and what's performance. We don't claim to have the full truth, but we can show you the shadows behind the spotlight. In the 20th century, power was measured in land, armies, and oil. In the 21st, it's measured in something far more fragile: attention. Every like, every view, every second, your eyes stay fixed on a screen. This is the new currency. And those who control it control not just markets, but minds. Donald Trump understood this before most politicians. He turned rallies into TV spectacles, tweets into weapons, and outrage into fuel. For him, politics wasn't about policies. It was about keeping the cameras pointed his way. Elon Musk, in a different world, played the same game. He didn't just build rockets, cars, and satellites. He built a persona. A character larger than his companies. One tweet moving markets. One meme shifting billions. Together, they show us a simple truth. When you own attention, you don't need to ask for power. You already have it. And in this economy of endless distraction, the spotlight is not just a stage. It is the throne itself. Donald Trump didn't enter politics like a statesman. He entered like a showman walking onto a stage he'd been rehearsing for his entire life. Before the Oval Office, there were skyscrapers with his name in gold. Before the White House, there was The Apprentice, a reality show where firing people was entertainment. To Trump, politics wasn't a break from that world, it was the next season. He turned press conferences into primetime drama. He turned debates into brawls. He used Twitter not as communication, but as a weapon, short bursts of outrage that dominated every news cycle. And every scandal? It didn't weaken him. It fed the machine. Because in Trump's universe, there's no such thing as bad press. There is only attention. Policies mattered less than ratings. Loyalty mattered more than truth. And for millions, he wasn't just a politician. He was a brand. Trump didn't govern in the traditional sense. He programmed. Each headline, each outburst, each promise, another episode in the show where he was always the star. Elon Musk built more than companies. He built an empire where technology and personality are inseparable. Tesla wasn't just about cars. It was about status, belief, and the promise of a future only Musk could deliver. SpaceX wasn't just about rockets. It was about spectacle, live-streamed launches that felt more like rituals than science. And then came Twitter, a platform already shaping politics, culture, and global conversation. When Musk bought it, he didn't just buy an app. He bought the world's digital megaphone. Suddenly, one man could tilt elections by changing algorithms. One man could silence voices or amplify them. One man could turn a meme into a market crash or a market boom. Critics call it reckless. Supporters call it genius. But the truth is simpler. When Musk took over Twitter, or X, he blurred the line between entrepreneur and emperor. Because in his world, innovation isn't just business. It's politics, conducted at the speed of a tweet. On the surface, Donald Trump and Elon Musk move in different worlds. But in the shadows, their paths converge. Both thrive on disruption. Both weaponize spectacle. Both understand that outrage is the fastest way to capture attention. And both discovered the same formula: control the narrative, and you control reality. When Trump was banned from Twitter, Musk later turned that same platform into his own private arena. When Trump pushed conspiracies from the White House, Musk amplified them with memes to his millions of followers. Two voices, different stages, but the same result: chaos that kept the spotlight locked on them. Critics say their alliance is less about ideas and more about survival. Trump needs tech billionaires to legitimize him. Musk needs political power to shield him from regulation. Together, they feed each other, a cycle of attention, influence, and impunity. But here's the fracture. Both men demand to be the center of gravity. Trump cannot share the stage. Musk cannot share the future. Their union is not built on loyalty, it's built on ego. And ego is the most fragile foundation of all. So when we look at Trump and Musk together, we don't see balance. We see a feedback loop of power, one that grows louder, darker, and more unstable with every turn. Their alliance was never built to last. Two men too large for one stage. Two egos too heavy for one spotlight. Trump wanted loyalty. Musk wanted freedom. And in the end, their duet collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions. But the damage was already done. Together they showed the world a new blueprint of power, not armies, not laws, not institutions, but platforms, attention, and chaos. And here lies the danger. When spectacle becomes strategy, when outrage becomes currency, when reality itself bends to the will of individuals, no democracy, no market, no society remains untouched. Trump and Musk no longer walk side by side, but their shadows remain. And each one, on his own, is powerful enough to bend the future. That's why in the coming episodes, we'll go deeper. The dark side of Donald Trump. The dark side of Elon Musk. Not as allies, not as rivals, but as men who changed the rules and forced the world to play their game. Stay with us, because the story isn't ending. It's only breaking into darker chapters.